So imagine if you want to send money from your account to your friend's account who is sitting in some other country. What is going to happen is you're going to tell your bank to transfer that money to your friend, and by the time it hits your friend's account, it is not going to be exact money. Lot of fees is going to be deducted, and it is going to take days for that money to even arrive to your friend's account. So this is a big drawback of the current traditional system of transferring money across the globe. Blockchain helps us to solve this problem by cutting the cost and time of sending the money. With blockchain, you can send the money in seconds, and it's going to take fraction of the fees of the traditional banking system. So how does exactly blockchain beats the current financial system, and what even is blockchain? We are going to answer all these questions in today's video, and we are going to keep it so simple that even an average person who doesn't know anything about blockchain can understand. So let's start with a simple example. Imagine you have a notebook, and in the notebook, you're going to write down all the transactions. So let's say Dhruv sent money to Aditya. So you will write that in the notebook. Dhruv sent X money to Aditya. Then Aditya sends money back to Dhruv. That is also a transaction. You're going to note it down. Aditya sent Y amount to Dhruv. And like this, the notebook is going to fill up with a lot of transactions. Now imagine that this notebook is a digital notebook. And instead of just you having that notebook, lot of people in the network will hold the same notebook and the same transactions. So whenever you want to put a transaction in the notebook, everybody else in the network will also write the same transactions. This will make it synced and distributed. So let's take a step back and go even simpler. Now let's see what a block in a blockchain looks like. A block always contains three things: the data, the previous hash, and the hash. With this, a block is created. So what happens is the data contains all the transactions you wrote down in the notebook, and instead of the notebook, it's a block. So all the data goes in the block, and with the previous hash of the previous block, you combine that with the data and you get a new unique hash. This hash acts like a fingerprint for this block. Now, when a new block is created, the hash of the block number 1 is going to be the previous hash of block number 2. So block number 2 now gets another new data to be added in the blockchain. So it uses the new data with the previous hash of block number 1. It combines it together and it creates a new hash. Like this, block number 3 is also created with the previous hash of block number 2. So like that, one by one, a chain of blocks is created. And that's where we actually get the word blockchain. It's literally a chain of blocks, and the data is stored in the blocks. So what happens if somebody is trying to now tamper with such a system? So something will happen on block number 1 and the data will be changed. Now since the data is changed, the hash of that block will also be different than the previous hash, what was usually the hash. Since the hash is now changed of block number 1, the previous hash of block number 2 will also change. And since the previous hash of block number 2 changes, the hash of the block number 2 also changes, and this is going to continue for all the further blocks that are going to come. So as you can see, tampering with any block in the system is going to be very difficult because you will have to literally manipulate each and every block. That's basically how a blockchain is. Now, this blockchain is not just stored in one database. It is stored in multiple different servers around the world. And what is going to happen is every people around the world are going to maintain the same chain of blocks. If I just made a transaction and I put that in the blockchain, that is going to be synchronized by everyone, by all the participants of the blockchain. This makes the blockchain very secure because it is distributed, and a distributed system is very difficult to hack. This is the primary reason why a blockchain is more secure than a traditional banking system, because nobody can tamper with it. If somebody tries to attack an entire blockchain, what they have to do is they have to attack at least 51% of all the nodes in the blockchain system. That means they have to hack all the nodes of India, China, Russia, Middle East combined, and still they will only reach 30% of the network, which they cannot actually manipulate. This makes it very difficult for hackers to actually manipulate a blockchain. Now, comparing this system with traditional banking system, what happens is when you transfer money from you to your friend in another country, you're transferring money from your account to the bank's USD account that is holding the dollar reserves. Then the bank's USD account is going to go through a SWIFT network, and that will then transfer the money to your friend's USD account. And finally, the friend's USD account will deposit the money in the local currency of the friend's account. So this process actually takes at least 5 to 7 business days, and there are a lot of intermediaries that takes a lot of fees for one simple transaction. This is a big problem in the current financial system because in the blockchain, you just pay one kind of a fees, that is gas fees. That's how a blockchain is much more efficient than traditional financial systems. There are a lot of people involved in traditional financial systems, whereas in blockchain, there is only code that is running the entire system. So nobody can actually manipulate or tamper with the money that goes in the blockchain. Finally, let's come on to learn what are smart contracts. Smart contracts are custom programs that run on the blockchain. And what smart contracts allows us to do is basically write pre-programmed code so that the money moves in a particular manner. The smart contract allows you to define certain rules, and once these rules are put in the blockchain, nobody can manipulate the rules. You can create a lot of things on the blockchain. So writing a smart contract is very easy. A lot of developers deploy smart contracts on the blockchain every day, and all you need to do is learn a simple language called Solidity. With the help of Solidity, you can deploy your own smart contracts on the blockchain and design how payments are going to take place in your particular application. In the next video, we are going to cover more details about what smart contracts are and how many different type of smart contracts exist in the current ecosystem of blockchains. But I hope you guys have derived a lot of value from this video, and in the next video we are going to cover much more details of blockchain and smart contracts. So make sure to subscribe to us to stay tuned and like this video if you got a lot of value. And my name is Dhruv, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.